Yo, JD here, Tyrrell Limitless, and as always, we are back on F1 2019, and this was the TSRL finale, final race of the season at Abu Dhabi. First time I've done it on the game itself, and I joined this league, as I've always said, at Singapore. So with 6 or 7 races to go, just joined this because I just wanted just a different experience, and so far it's been amazing. Love this full qualifying format. And coming into this one here, wasn't particularly confident, and I haven't been confident for my last few races, and I think it's coming to a stage where I really want the next game at the moment, although we've still got quite a bit to endure on this one left. But yeah, motivation wasn't particularly high coming to this because there's not really anything to fight for in the championship, but managed to go through Q1 pretty reasonably comfortably. Start off my Q2, just about to start the lap coming round here, and
No! What happened? I think Ericsson hit us.
And yeah, a complete lapse in concentration, as you can see by my face there, meant that I crashed in Q2, which means I don't go through to Q3 at all. So then I have to watch from the sidelines, like I did in Mexico, to watch Viper get P1. And I wasn't confident for pole anyway, but I was really hoping I'd at least be in the top 10. But yeah, we're starting P15 instead, and it's going to be a very long race. And this video is actually going to be quite a long one as well. But make sure you buckle up, because it's this race was just absolutely nuts in terms of what happened here. And yeah, starting formation at P15, decided to start on the medium tyres. And something to note, as I've just been hit in the rear by Danny in the Ferrari, as I've been sent back to the grid. So we already had a crash in quali, and I've already had a crash in the formation lap, which means I don't even get to set up my tyres. But we've got 5 lights now, waiting for lights to go out and get a pretty decent start here. And what I was trying to say before was that recently the game has been updated with a new patch where the safety car has become much more frequent, because a lot of people were complaining it wasn't, but that was only really for career mode online. It always comes out pretty frequently, so this was going to be quite entertaining, hence why I started on the medium tyres, already been forced off ever so slightly by the Racing Point. But coming to this first lap, trying to keep it cautious, but there's literally cars either side of me at this point, so I'm just trying to be cautious, try not to get any damage, and try and slip through the field, because as always, race pace, Tiro race pace, always feel my race pace is usually better than my qualifying pace. And I felt this track you have to actually look after your tyres slightly with temperatures and stuff, so I was going to try and use that to my advantage. Currently in P15, trying to make up at least one position through here, not being super aggressive, but if I could get some moves done relatively easily, that was the goal here. So go around the outside at MNT Hawks. Let's see how late he brakes. I actually brake slightly later than him, trying not to get hit off again, and he goes, completely cuts the track. A Ferrari on my inside of also Danny, and yeah, great first lap so far, just about staying on the track. And after all that, we don't make up any positions whatsoever. So yeah, everyone's fighting very, very hard in this first lap, almost like it's the end of the race itself, but we've still got 27 and a bit laps of this race to go instead. And already we have a virtual safety car, because someone has hit the wall and yeah, completely destroyed their car, I think. So that has already triggered the very, very first one, and someone's gone into the pits because they're on soft tyres. And that's the benefit, starting on the harder tyres. This is what I was anticipating, that a couple of people have pitted the race. We're already up to P12 now, and we're just going to stay out, because I was predicting this was going to be quite a regular occurrence during this race. So returning to racing speed now in P12, and there's a few guys ahead of me who are still on softs, and their tyres should be going off pretty quickly. It's KJ Gamer, the actually newly crowned champion in this league, going down the inside of Ryan Jones in the Renault, and no DRS at this point. You have to wait 3 laps here, but trying to seize the opportunity. As I said, not being super aggressive, but if I can pick off moves, it'll make my life a lot easier. So going down the inside of the Renault here, he tries to hold around the outside, done it relatively cleanly, and that is a move into P11. So 4 positions in the first 2 laps. 2 of them, although a couple of people pitted, pretty decent start so far. Was thinking about going down the inside of the second runner this time, but definitely way too far back on this occasion. And let's see, we've got a yellow flag going through here, and what's happened here? Someone else has retired or left the session, so that could potentially trigger another one. Hasn't come out just yet here, but we're into P10 now in the points paying positions. And this stage, now the leaders have got a little bit of a gap, but I was always anticipating there were going to be plenty more safety cars here, and my tyres should really start to come into its own, because I was really planning to do medium soft. That's what I was planning to do in this race here. So going across the line, got a very nice run on the Renault itself, and I say these tyres are probably the fastest tyres at this point in the race, as he's struggling quite a bit going through here. So it should be easy pickings on the straight, but he does have DRS from the car ahead. So just taking my time through here, trying to save the fuel and ERS as much as possible, and just being patient. That's something I've definitely haven't been in the past. Although just saying that, we're going down the inside, didn't make any contact on this occasion. Wasn't really so much as a dive bomb, just really trying to put him offline, because he's going to have the DRS, and that's kind of worked, because he's actually lost a little bit of ground to the cars ahead. So we're going round the outside of him. Hopefully should be a relatively easy move. He tries to fight back down the inside, but we're going to have DRS again for this next straight, and we're going to get much better traction here. And with the overtake or hot lap and overtake with DRS, should be pretty difficult for him to overtake me back again. So we're back into P9, or gone up to P9 in this race, with another person, the Williams, on the soft tyres. So you can see just how much more grip and traction we have more than them at this point in the race. And you can see the arrow behind me quickly disappearing. So yeah, so far from P15 to P9 in 4 laps, not a bad start at all, as the Williams is going wide here, and you can see he's definitely struggling quite a bit for grip. But once again, as I almost use the car myself, just remaining patient, because there's been a lot of occasions in different league races where I've just decided to just bombseye it when I really should have just waited, and it would just benefited me so much more in the end itself, as some more people have actually pitted and now into P8 now, and a few people pit behind me as well, because only the softs really last for about 5 to 6 laps before they really go off. And you can see just the raw grip he has absolutely nothing. So now just taking my time, exactly what I did on the previous lap as well. Don't know if I'm going to go down the inside this time. Decide not to, because he's not really close enough. You'll probably get DRS, but he's not close enough to get a real slipstream. So this should be a pretty simple move going past him. Let's see if he gets DRS. He actually doesn't get DRS either, and we should be long past him before we go down into this left-hander, and we are. I don't think he's going to have anything to really fight back, and that is us up into P7 this race. So 8 positions in 5 laps. Yeah, decent start, and I get the DRS as well behind KJ Gamer. So moving on towards the end of lap 5 now. Let's see, a couple more people pitted. A full-on safety car has now actually come out now. So another incident, or I think someone just left the session. It just gets triggered when someone leaves the session. Yeah, so whenever someone just leaves the session, that's me into P5 now. So this strategy, starting on the medium tyre, is working so well, and catching up to the safety car queue, someone else actually pits ahead of me, and that puts me into P4, actually into P3. So a podium position out of nowhere in 7 laps. We've gone from P15, 12 positions, into P3. And this is just working out so nicely, because the guys ahead of me, they haven't pitted yet. They're on the mediums, and I felt my pace was slightly better than theirs. I think I've got Callum behind me. There's a few people behind me who have pitted from the mediums, but my tyres are only 8 laps old though, so it's not going to be like a massive difference in pace or anything at all. And as always, my race pace I feel is very good. So yeah, I was in a really strong position, and at this point I was really aiming to stretch it out to lap 20 or something to go on softs at the end, as Luca's gone completely off the track. We're going round the outside of him back into P2, and that was a really nice move. I actually surprised myself that I managed to keep the car under control there. That could have been very bad. He could have spun off up into me now, but we've gone into P2. Luckily there's no DRS at this point as well, and yeah, it's working out very, very nicely at this stage. But we are going to skip on towards the end of this lap, and you'll be able to see. You're probably wondering why I'm actually skipping this, but you will see the reason why in a second. We've only just done less than a lap, and someone was retired from the race. What does that mean? Of course it means there is another virtual safety car. So I don't know how many that is. Is that 3 that's happened already in 10 laps? It's just absolutely nuts, this new update. Obviously, it needs to be tweaked just a little bit more. Got caught out a little bit on the safety car restart, but at this stage, me and Jinx are on the same freshness of tyres. I think Callum's on fresh mediums behind me, with KJ Gamer behind him on fresh softs. And my strategy right now is just to use these tyres to lap 20, which should be very doable since we've had so many safety cars. I haven't had to push every single lap or wear down the tyres. I was just aiming to eke these out as long as possible, and then just go on softs for the last 7 laps or so. Even if you had a safety car, they should be relatively fresh. And yeah, that was my strategy, but it is working out absolutely perfectly at this point, as Jinx is actually pitting now. So he's deciding most likely to go on another set of mediums and then softs at the end. But me, I was anticipating another safety car. So we've gone into the lead now, and at the moment it's a strategic masterclass at this point. However, I do have Callum on fresh mediums behind me, very quick driver, along with KJ Gamer, as I mentioned, on the soft tyre. And I think he's probably going to have DRS now, because virtual safety car, you don't have to wait another 3 laps for the DRS, you just get it back instantly, unlike with a normal safety car. So trying to get a good exit off here, but he's going to have a very good exit as well, since he is on the fresher compound. Although he's not super close, he's going to have the benefit of DRS, and I don't defend this fully, I just make it very difficult for him, just so I have a good line coming off this next corner to go for the switchback. But KJ Gamer goes down the inside, that actually pushes me out wide ever so slightly, which I wasn't too happy with. We almost spin out wide, and yeah, nothing wrong that he did there. Nothing really wrong I did there either. We just tried to go for the same piece of time, like going around the outside of Royal Viper, braking too late, gone into the back of KJ Gamer, and that is me damaging wing coming back across the track, and that is an orange wing, and that means I'm going to have to change it. So that strategy is out the window now, and skipping on again to see why. Yeah, boxing a sap, so I have to go into the pits because there's no point continuing at all. I'm just going to lose so much time. Unfortunately, it was a yellow wing, which means I don't have to hit the barrier coming into the pits, unless it was like a light green wing or something else. So I decided to go on the soft tyre, and for the rest of this race I decided to go soft. If nothing changed, to go soft and just hope for the best. But I was still very confident that there'd probably be another safety cars race when people just leave or crash or something like that at all. So going from P1 2 laps ago to P16 can just show you how brutal league racing can be. As I say all the time, things can just change in a heartbeat, in a split-second decision. But a couple of laps later, caught up to Ian Boy, who's recently just pitted for new medium, so he's probably try to go to the end of this race. But our tyres are much faster at this stage, so we do quite a relatively simple move on him to get past. And now we've got Luca on the hard tyre, so he's definitely trying to go towards the end of this race. And skipping to the start of lap 14, a couple of people pitted now, so Danny, he's the only guy who's actually pitted there. And we've got a few more people, Evansy, on the mediums ahead of me as well. So it felt like a very gloomy race at this stage in the race. But I was the fastest car on track with these soft tyres, and they were working pretty well for a couple of laps. The pace was very, very nice at this stage in the race. And we've caught up to Luca extremely quickly. And you can see right on the back of him now. And once again, just being patient. Don't need to do anything crazy at this stage in the race. Straight line speed was pretty decent with the setup I was running. Pretty comfortable with the setup overall, to be honest. And this should be a very nice and easy move going into this corner of Ollie Smithson. The next target come up with a little group of cars ahead of him. So I was still pushing, and yeah, just pushing, never give up towards the end of the race, and just doing everything I can now. As he goes out wide, so he is struggling on those medium tyres, and that is another move pretty much gifted to me through here. I thought he was going to try and hold it on the inside there, but we get the move done. Only one position away from the points now, and a couple of cars really battling so hard here, and everyone in this league, I think everyone in leagues in general, just treat it like it's the last lap of the race. No one is that patient on this game whatsoever at all, but I decided to be patient this race, and you can see softs are still working actually pretty well here, so I'm making them work very nicely. Probably only about 5 laps until we decide to pit. Once again, as Raw Rizzers is trying to go down the inside of AMS Tezek, if I can even read that. As I said, the screen I'm looking at here is not very good compared to the video that's actually outputted, but we managed to go around the outside of him. Not sure if he was even controlling the car then. We've got the overtake and the DRS going to the racing line to try and get the optimum braking zone. Hopefully he doesn't really fight too hard here, as there's another safety car. So this is what I was predicting, another safety car here. And this is a full-blown safety car as well. But we have to keep in the delta because you do get a penalty. And coming across here, you're probably thinking, why on earth has he not decided to go into the pits here? What an absolute tragic decision that is. And the only thing I can say is that I agree. I do not know what I was doing here. But I remember thinking at the time, the only reason why I didn't go into the pits is because I wanted slightly fresher tyres. I was trying to fight it out for softs because 11 laps on softs or 10 laps on softs would be a really big ask. So I was really still debating that in my head. That's pretty much the reason why I didn't pit. But also, since I decided to go on used mediums now, I was just thinking, if there's another safety car, I want as fresh tyres as possible, because on this track, even a lap fresher tyres makes quite a big difference. So I was prepared to lose some positions just to get some better tyres, and that was really the logic. Although, looking back now, I really should have pitted that lap, but I think the lap when the safety car came out, I was still fighting my mind if I wanted to go on softs, because that's really what I was planning to do. But I think 10 laps on softs or even 9 laps would have been a really big ask. So yeah, that was pretty much not the logic, but the madness that was going on in my mind. But now we've gone back to P15 again. So yeah, we keep on chopping and changing every single time here. And yeah, now I've got fresh, well, not fresh tyres, but someone else has gone off as well. And that could even trigger another one. Someone's retired from the session. Luca has just, I don't know what he's doing, he's just falling asleep going through here. And we've just made up a couple positions already, so that is pretty nice. And some people ahead of me were on soft, so if there is no safety car towards the end of this race, I knew that they would be struggling so much here. And look at this, what is going on here? It is just absolute carnage. Almost 2 or 3 abreast going to it, trying to go around the outside of Ollie Smithson, which we just about managed to do. Didn't on that occasion here, and was thinking about going down and move for the inside, but again, just needing to remember there's still quite a bit of this race to go, and the Toro Rosso has gone off here. And yeah, it's just absolute carnage so far. So we made up 4 positions this lap, so pretty decent. If I could do it towards the end of the race, then that would be very nice. But yeah, Ollie Smithson, he is on slightly older medium tyres than me, and that's why I wanted just a lap fresher tyres than these guys. So you may think that a lap fresher doesn't really mean that much, but to me in practice around here, it actually made quite a significant difference. So yeah, really pushing it to the end now. I knew my tyres would easily make it to the end of this race, and I also knew there's going to be a lot of soft runners who are really going to be struggling here. And what is going on going through this corner here? And yeah, trying to go through down the middle, trying not to make any contact, don't want to get any damage to my wing at all. Let's try and get some good traction off here. Gone into P10 now, so in the points paying positions. Got a nice slipstream on Ollie Smithson, trying to go to the right hand side. Oh, actually been hit on the rear, almost losing the car there. I really had to wrestle the wheel to stop it from spinning out. So trying to go around the outside as much as I can, trying to get the inside for the right hand, actually making a little bit of contact. Luckily, the Renault behind me has not really got a good launch off that corner at all, and I was desperate to get past these guys because I really felt if I could clear these guys, then the leaders are not even that far away as well. So yeah, really trying hard, putting a lot of pressure on Ollie Smithson now, and that puts him actually out wide. No contact there. He went out wide, and he decides to actually let me go. So fair play to him. Didn't really need to do that, as another Alfa Romeo KJ Gamer, I think, has actually gone out wide, and he's retired from the race as well. And the Williams is going off the track. What is going on in this race? And that's me now into P7 from P15 2 laps ago. We are now in P7 in this race, and someone's trying to go down the inside of the last corner. Very ambitious. But yeah, what on earth is going on in this race here? And yeah, just absolute pure madness. So going towards the middle of that 21, KJ Gamer has actually left the session now. And I was fully expecting another virtual safety car or something to be triggered. These two guys are just battling ahead of me, which is very frustrating for me, because when people are trying to overtake each other every single corner, you just don't know where the car is going to end up on the exit of the corner. So it's very, very frustrating. I just want guys to be decisive in their moves so I know where they're going to go, so I can predict. And that has triggered, Luca retiring from the Cessna has triggered another virtual safety car. I think this is virtual. Yes, it is. It's a virtual safety car. Shame it wasn't a full safety car, because I would have actually liked that on that occasion there. But yes, if that was a full safety car, I might have even had time to go into the pits and softs there. But yeah, safety car has just ended now again, and we didn't get caught out too badly on this occasion, but business as usual for these two. The Racing Point and the Ferrari going neck and neck. I try and do a Perez around the outside, didn't work on this occasion here. And as I said, probably the most used word I've done this video, patience again. I just need a bit more patience, because I can still get a good result despite everything that's happened in qualifying, the formation lap, and the race. Everything, I think everything has happened to me. I think I've had damage, penalties, people hitting me and stuff as well, safety cars. I think everything that you could possibly happen to has happened in this race so far as well. And coming off the last corner, trying to get a nice exit here. These two guys, I believe, are on softs as well, so they are going to be really, really struggling here. And I need to get past these guys as quick as possible, because the Ferrari of RSR Danny is not too far up the road, and he is definitely on softs here. Leader's a little bit too far ahead, but you never know what can happen in this race here. So these two are really, really fighting it. I decide to go down the inside like I did before, not to necessarily overtake him, but just to put him offline. So as you can see, he is not that close to the Ferrari now. That has forced him to go out wide, giving me a better opportunity to overtake. And this should be a very comfortable-ish move. There's no way he can really fight back down the inside. Actually going a little bit deep, making a bit of contact with the Ferrari. A couple of stabs with the steering wheel, getting a nice exit. I wasn't intending to overtake him or anything at all, but that actually gives me a very nice run. Going round the outside, he's probably not too happy about that move down the inside here. And I brake just a bit late in him. He tries to fight on the inside, but then I get the move done. And now it's RSR Danny, 3.5 seconds up the road as I get my breath back. This race is just absolutely nuts what has been happening so far. But moving on to the last lap of the race, I've caught up to the Ferrari. The leaders are a little bit too far out of reach. We've absolutely dropped the guys behind on the softs, because as I said, their softs will be absolutely on fire this race here. And coming off here, you can see how close I am. It is just not a matter if, it's a matter of when I'm going to overtake RSR Danny. Got plenty of fuel and EOS to play with as well, and I've just got to pick my moment. Got a very nice line out of here, not going down the inside, absolutely not necessary on this occasion, because he has no DRS. And look at this, we're literally almost pushing him coming off this corner, and you would think this would be a pretty easy move. So we've got the overtake, we've got the rich, we've got the DRS pulling out to the racing line. And he's got quite good straight line speed here, so he's trying to fight back down the inside like I did before to other people. I don't think he's trying to overtake me, he's just trying to really compromise my line, because there's another DRS zone where he can now overtake me back, and he's actually trying to go down the inside of me, so I'm really forcing him to the inside and then moving back out wide, trying to outbrake him around the outside. He tries to fight it, actually pushes me off the track ever so slightly, but I hold my line and I get the move just about done. Almost, he still tries to go down the inside, and that is a move done into P4 in this race. And yeah, I'm just completely out of breath of what's happened here so far. But yeah, there's no way he's really going to really fight back at me. His softs will just be absolutely ruined at this point, and you can see that arrow has just disappeared now already, because he's just gonna have no grip M&T Hawks wins the race, or crosses the line first at the very least. And I'm about to cross the line. Let's see what happens here. And
I got P2.
after that cringe-worthy reaction, apologies for that, I somehow get P2 this race because a couple of guys ahead of me just had a ridiculous amount of penalties. It's absolutely crazy. And yeah, that race, I think, had absolutely everything. Finales always normally deliver, and that's one thing about Abu Dhabi on this game, or on racing games in general. Although it may not be the most popular track to drive, it normally delivers pretty good finales to races like Brazil as well. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for tuning and watching this, and I will catch you very soon. Peace.